Welcome back to the GSL Code S. We just had True get out in first place, surprise, surprise. Little mistakes there from SOS, or a big mistake, really.
Yeah.
That makes these two really sad, I have to tell you, because SOS is the scariest guy in this group, even though True won. So the winner of this is going to have a tough road ahead of them.
Yeah, this feels like this is actually the loser's match. So goes to consolation match. It almost feels like who is Sue going to beat to get into the round of 16?
Yeah.
Which one of these two does he have to beat? Ragnarok already lost to him earlier, and Trap, with the way he played against, you know, True earlier, I have a feeling that there's no way he can actually beat somebody like Sue.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, but you know what? Sue lost a game that looked very won for him, so this crazy game we call StarCraft II, upsets do occur. Because 50 mutas.
Because 50 mutas.
All right, let's get into this one, Wolf. Bottom left of Way Station 1 is our Zerg player. It is
Ragnarok, 신이범.
They say his Korean name so fast, it sounds like they're saying Cinnabon at the end.
Cinnabon.
Yeah.
Mmm. Yummy. Just like his Zerg.
And over here to the top right in blue, Roadhouse player.
I am Trap, 조성호.
I want, for when games start in Way Station, I want a camera on both players' faces and showing their screen so that when it loads and shows them what position there is, I want to see the expression on both faces. This should be real. This should happen. If you are from like ESL, so you guys run a big chunk of the StarCraft going on right now, listen to me and do this for Way Station. I want to measure the face of these pros as they see which one loads, because you know that Trap was like, please give me close, please give me close, please give me close, and Ragnarok is like, please give me far, etc. So, anyways,
I think we might actually
my thought,
see. I think we might actually see the Immortal Colossus timing. This little match point thing at the
we could.
Pretty funny, like just Ragnarok saying like, I'm gonna go to round 16 really fast, and Trav says, well, I think I'm gonna go actually. It's like the match point there.
Wow.
I'm like, woo.
Do you think these two can never be friends again?
I don't know, man. I think that's like some pretty harsh words saying like, no, I think I'm actually gonna go.
You know what I want to see here, Wolf? I want to see a Roach attack from Ragnarok.
Off 2 bays or 3?
Off of 2. Because
well,
the one thing that I really like about a Roach attack on this map is, well, especially against, I guess, a Forge fast expand. This is a gate expand, so maybe it won't work as well, but the wall-in that isn't protected from the Nexus by the Nexus cannon, it doesn't really help.
True.
So, because it's a little bit further away than a lot of other wall-ins. So, you can, like, bust the wall relatively easily on this, excuse me, on this map.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it wouldn't be a bad choice to do an aggressive play like that on this map. Ragnarok doesn't seem the type, though. Just in general, I feel like we're at a point in Korea where there are only a few types of players who would ever consider doing something like that, and no one else is ever going to think outside the box and try it. And, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Could you ever imagine in 100 years, like, Sulky doing a build like that? Because I just can't. But I could see Lenok doing it.
I once saw him make, like, 16 lings that were slow off of, like, an 8 pool on Ultrazine. So I could maybe see him doing that. Maybe.
Okay. I mean, I look at this and I think like a player like Sue is much more likely to do this. A player like Lenok or Shine, obviously.
Yeah, I think, in fact, Shine is the one that did it first. No surprise there.
Yeah, he did that against a Terran on this map.
Oh, did
Flash, remember?
Oh, yeah, he did do that. Yeah, you're right.
Then he beat Flash in a macro game in Game 3.
Yeah, Flash, for some reason, didn't think that he'd go Roaches on this map. Oh, Shine, yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Anyways, let's see what we have as a plan here from Trap.
Stargate first, obviously.
Third base just going up for Ragnarok after speed. Going right back into gas for now. See what he wants to get done with that.
I don't know why, but I'm having this thought right now. Like, can a probe do a flip?
A probe do a flip? No. How would a probe do a flip?
I don't know. When they turn, they kind of turn like pretty far on their little axis.
Yeah, but they couldn't do a flip all the way because the way their boosters work. Come on, science.
Well, if they had enough momentum, maybe they could flip it all the way over.
Oh, Wolf. You just know nothing of Protoss technology.
I guess I'm just a bit limited. By the way, how do Phoenixes work? I don't see any sort of thrusting going on here. How do they float like that?
What are you talking about? They have wings.
Yeah, I just don't see any.
Oh God, Wolf. Oh.
I don't know. I don't see anywhere that's pushing them forward. I only see the little wave on the wing that indicates they're moving, which doesn't make sense because we're in space. But I don't know.
By the way, we have some Zealots being warped in over here.
Yeah, he's hiding them, pulling them up a bit.
This is a very old build that actually Trap was using quite a bit back in the day. The 2 gateway, warp in a few Zealots and go with Phoenix pressure.
Well, I mean, he's also killed Overlord, so he's supply blocked right now, so he can't make any more units. Okay, well,
and then he walks right into an Overlord. That's too bad. He needs to actually send those Zealots right now.
I don't think he can see the Overlord. Now he can, obviously, but I guess at that moment he didn't quite realize.
Yeah, it seems like he just didn't notice.
I mean, this is still not defended yet, and he has to make a ton of lings.
Yeah, the thing is with only 2 gateways, like he's going to go up to maybe 6 or 8 Zealots, depending on if he loses these. Looks like he will lose them, unfortunately.
Just wants to pull the Queens maybe away from Spore range so he can pick them off.
Sure.
It almost looked like he planned from the beginning for this to just not be committed too heavily. He can recall here, saves the probe even.
Well, that's nice, but you know, this really didn't do anything for him. I guess he's getting a little bit of harassment done with these Phoenixes though, so that's good.
He did force a few lings to be made, but not really worth it for the cost of the Zealots. Gonna kill some Overlords here maybe. Gets one. Can catch a few of these drones if he's got energy. I think he might be out.
Well, right now we do have him going into a Forge, a Robo, Twilight, a couple more gates. I would say that this is gearing up to a 3rd base.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't see any sort of 2-base timing being possible off of what he's making.
Well, he doesn't have +1 yet.
It would be like the slowest +2 Blink Stalker ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's making a cannon there as well. Does look like he's deciding to go. Got to be careful about that wall, though. That wall does not look safe against Speedlings.
No.
1 Zealot in there, I would not trust that.
Never trust the 1 Zealot.
Yeah. 1 Zealot is untrustable. You need 2 of them to guilt each other.
Well, I mean, this creep is finally starting to extend over to that 3rd base. Meanwhile, this 3rd Nexus is dropped side of the Overlord, so he sees that. He knows the exact timing it's been placed. We'll also be able to check the gases a little bit with that Overlord.
We do have Blink on the way, so it looks like he's going to go into a 3-base Blink Stalker. A lot of lings, a lot of upgrades for Ragnarok at the moment. Going into a Spire as well. Definitely going to give him a lot of mobility on this map.
So that wall we were talking about.
Oh wow. 1 Zealot holding tight for now. Of course, with the sentry there, he's going to be careful about taking any risks.
Yeah, plus the cannon. He's making a lot of cannons here. Trap will just make a lot of cannons in the mid-game.
Love
to be safe.
Love it. It's only a few players like SOS will do it, Sora will do it, I guess Trap will do it. Really fantastic play. It makes him so much safer, you know? Just a few extra cannons screw up all the map.
Oh, a lot of kills here.
Yeah, he's actually done a great job with this harassment so far. Look at this, 16 workers killed. I'm liking the position for Trap more and more.
Yeah, 4th base goes up here for Ragnarok, but it's not going to be saturated for a little while now. And this 3rd base is basically, you know, I want to say gotten up for free. Like, he hasn't been able to actually pressure with all the links he made, so that cost him a lot of larva, a lot of money that hasn't really been too useful. This Overseer is just going to, I guess, live through this.
Wow, look at this. More good force fields from Trap. He just will not lose a sentry this game. And when you try this many times and get no sentries, that obviously is very good for the Protoss player.
Yeah. This is actually a scary move out that you can go with too, because of these positions. We talked about it a lot. You know, you're pretty close to the Zerg.
That's true, but he doesn't have a lot of force fields left. And although he has +1 attack, we have 1/1 on the Lings, so the Lings do have better upgrades here. Got to watch out for that. 36 more lings on the way. If he really commits this, he is going to get surrounded, and I'm not sure that he has enough force fields, because once the surround happens, the force fields go up and then the Lings can retreat. How many times can he surround himself with force fields?
Yeah.
He's got to be against walls to make this work. Okay, there you go. He is finally standing against a wall.
I mean, he's not, this is not, you know, some crazy amount of sentries. It's just 8. That one Immortal on there, too. Not going to be too useful against Zerglings at this moment in time. We have Infestors on the way by Ragnarok by the, back at home. And I'm not...
Cool to see 2 players using a style like this.
Yeah.
Today. Really great. Maybe this is like rotating right back into the metagame. We did have a lot of 2-2 Ling, like quick 2-2 Lings a while back, like last year. And some people did mix Infestors somewhat for quick ultras. And he's actually getting a very fast hive as well.
Yeah, just building off of that tag. Trying to make that his advantage here. His creep spread hasn't been the best, I would say, in this game. His base is barely connected at the 3rd, and then the 4th is still not even connected at all. Which, in this case, probably won't be too big of a problem, because I don't think this Protoss army can really commit here, but it looks like he's very heavily considering it. Well, losing that forward warping point, guess there's no way to do it anymore.
Yeah, well, it does back up for now. We do have a second Robo on the way, as well as Colossus Tech, so looks like he is going to commit pretty heavily into them, but you know what? If he goes into Ultras from here, I think that's the best move, especially if he can figure out that it's double Robo Colossus. Now, of course, if he starts making Immortals, that makes it a bit harder, and there's going to have to be a lot of tech jumping going on.
Yeah.
In fact, another Immortal on the way just in case. I love that he's kept the 5 Phoenixes alive, because that makes switching into any sort of Mutalisk tech like a really hard choice to make as well. Wow, I feel like both of them are playing quite nicely. I'm liking Trap's play a little bit more, though.
Yeah.
I like the strategy here of Ragnarok's play, but overall Trap has been on top of everything, really. Like,
it's going to be pretty easy for him to take a 4th base up to the left of his 3rd. It's not that far away. It's pretty far away from the Zerg to attack, especially because of the lack of creep spread from Ragnarok. Like, he's going Ultraless with no creep, basically.
Yeah, you know, creep spread is super important for going Ultra Ling with Infestor.
Notice his splitting on these Phoenixes. I really like that, because he's expecting some fungals, maybe. He split them up pretty nicely. Now he's not really focused on that because he sees this. And did he get fungal? No. Escapes over here. Saving his Phoenixes, making sure they're going to be useful for a later day.
That's right. 3-3 on the way. +3 attack, of course, for Protoss. Some Colossus going to be popping out, and some Vipers coming up now. He is obviously going to need some... Oh my god, my brain just died inside of my head. He's going to need some High Templars rather quickly here. If he doesn't get High Templars, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Now, very nice force fields.
Yeah, he's really had quite clutch force fields this entire game. Well, this is a really scary moment for Rag right now, because he's got 5 Ultras on the way. What's there to support them? 9 Infestors and a few Vipers, but there's so many Colossi here in this army.
He's hitting right before the Ultras pop out, right before 3-3, but those Ultras will be here with 2-2, which is still very strong.
And no range on those Colossi.
Yeah, that's only halfway done. Well, the thing is, I guess it's not as important because he needs it to kill the Lings. Because there's no strength here to this army right now. He needs the Ultras, and they're going to be incrementing out from mostly the left-hand side, which means that they're split up from this army. This right here, this was a beautiful timing that he hit.
Yeah, really.
He hit right before everything was ready for Ragnarok.
Really good timing here, and now he's going to pick up and kill the last of the Infestors. Ultras 1 by 1, not very useful units, and even with the blinding clouds here, it doesn't matter. You just kind of walk through those, and this is going to be the end of the game, I would say. I mean, all the Ultras are dead. That's all of his resources spent. This base is toast.
Yeah, he's dealt enough damage, and Ragnarok, you can see in his face, he knows he's dead. Really, the thing is, if he had 30 more seconds, that would not have even come close to working. It just would not have worked. He would have had 7 Ultras with that army. He would have had a lot of Fungals, good upgrades on Lings, a bunch of Queens, and all of that together. I mean, you just can't engage like that. But Trap just moved right out. As you said, didn't even have Colossus range. A lot of people will wait for that. Nope. Trap knows he just needs to kill off the Lings. That was his timing. He hit it.
Yeah, the Infestor is not able to finish anything off there either. Had a lot of synergy they could have had with the Ultralisk, which we're getting their double upgrades out. And, you know, Trap looking poised to do very well in this series. Also, I feel like this push works well with the map. And
yeah, certainly. If it was, like, Way Station 2, the long spots, I mean, the game wouldn't have looked like that really at all. But obviously an attack like that, walking across the map at that time, the Ultras are done and 3-3 is just about to finish when you get there.
Yeah.
So, Definitely could have been a different game.
Ragnarok is looking a bit emotional. Even in game 1 of the previous series, you could see his head in his hand because he knew he made some critical mistakes against Sue. I feel like you get this emotional in this type of situation when you're teamless still, you're trying to get picked up by a good team, and you're losing to these guys that are so talented and have been in the spotlight for so much longer than you. It's gotta be painful, you know? You might end up getting knocked out of the group 0-2-0-4, and you're just trying to prove yourself. You're trying to prove to these teams, like, no, pick me up, I really am good. And he knows he's good, too, because he's so respected by the people he practices with.
And, you know, if he loses, where does he play again? We don't know. Trap loses here? We'll see him in Pro League next week. He's on IM. He shows up in the roster plenty. He's not going anywhere. He's still going to be around playing professional matches.
But true, that's why having a team is so important. Have that infrastructure there in place for you to help practice, go into televised matches. Well, Ragnarok is one game away from going out of this group 0-4. He really needs a win here. It's his map pick. Of course, it's Overgrowth. This is the GSL Code S Group B.